Hello, all you beautiful people in Cochrane. What could $100,000 do for Cochrane? Specifically in the area of helping us be a more active community and making activity, recreation, sports, all of that stuff more accessible to Cochranites. That is a question I'm going to be discussing tonight. It feels like nighttime because it's kind of dark and gloomy out. That's the question I'm going to be discussing right now with Tara McFadden. She's going to be hopping on here with me in a moment. I think she might have already sent me a request. Oh no. As soon as I see her jump on here, I will get her on here. So what could we do with $100,000 in Cochrane? If you're watching this right now and you have some ideas of what you think Cochrane could use, please put it in the comments below. We're going to be getting to know Tara McFadden a little bit better. She is someone I don't know very well. Our paths have been crossing over the years here in Cochrane. I've never had a full conversation with her, so I'm really excited to do that. Oh, Big Hill Haven, that is Tara. That's why I was so confused. Okay, so we're going to get Tara on here. All right, here she comes. Tara McFadden is going to be here with me any second now. Yes, nailed it.
I'm excited.
Me too. And I was confused. I was looking for your name. I didn't realize you were on this account, so that makes sense. Okay. Tara, how's it going?
You know what? It's going pretty good because I logged on to the app this morning and I did my first 45-minute contribution to being active because Cochrane rocks, and I always like to make sure the rest of the country knows that too.
Let's spread the word, but let's not like make everybody want to move here. There's like a balance there, right?
No, that's a lot. It's like you can come visit and you can send kudos.
Yeah. You can come learn some of our tricks and take them back to your town. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I don't know you very well, so I want to get to know you better. As you know, I have some questions for you about who is Tara McFadden, why is she excited about this challenge? How long have you lived in Cochrane, Tara?
Yeah, so we moved here in like '04, and just like so many other people, we were drawn to Cochrane because, you know, we wanted to have a family. And I had grown up in Sundre, and when I went to college, I remember driving through Cochrane and, you know, being 18, and I was like, you know, one day I'm gonna like live in Cochrane. And so it was great to be able to make that happen. And yeah, so I've been here ever since and been involved in, you know, local government since '07. So, and, you know, recreation in pathways is a big part of, for me, like what a complete community is all about. And so it's part of the kind of the areas that I like to champion. So, and then for myself, I know everybody's, you know, busy and crazy, but just be able to get out in the pathways, whether it's for a walk or for a bike or just to get out and enjoy the amazingness that is Cochrane, just makes you feel so much better, you know, heart and soul.
Definitely. So I Googled you because I don't know a lot about you, and I wanted to have some meaningful questions to ask. And then you joined from the Big Hill Haven Instagram account. So now we have to talk about that a little bit. So you've been pioneering for Big Hill Haven for how long now, and what does your role look like with that organization?
Yeah, so Big Hill Haven it's an amazing initiative here in Cochrane, and it's a women's shelter initiative. So, and the sad truth is that domestic violence was an epidemic before, and the COVID pandemic has only made it worse. But the exciting thing part of Big Hill Haven is that we're making a difference and able to start providing some of the supports and some of the shelter needs that you know, women and their families need here in Cochrane. So for me, what's always been important is I need to be able to make a difference. And so I always seek out opportunities to do that, which is why I serve on town council, and then I've been working with Big Hill Haven in a fund development kind of communications role. So
awesome.
So all about this, really, like how do we make a city better?
Yes, and so you know the power of social media. I suspect you know how, especially now when people can't come together as often and as much, or like and be in touch, you know, in the same room. Social media is so huge. So we just had a question come up regarding, so tracking minutes in an app. How is that going to be, proving that we're the most active community in Canada? Absolutely. totally agree with you. I think that was Jane who said that. So yeah, and that's a big part of what we're trying to do here through Sport for Life. So I was invited to join the team to help spread the word about this, because as a lot of you probably know, I'm a bit of a social media marketing nerd. That is my jam. And I love talking to business owners specifically because they are quite often the community leaders. They are the influencers of the community. And so if they don't get on board with certain things like this, it sometimes can just lose a lot of the traction and it doesn't blow up the way it should. So I've been really working hard to talk to the business owners about this. But back to what you were saying about Big Hill Haven and just all the things that you're doing through that, I just want to tie that into how we can spread the word about not only Big Hill Haven and everything you're doing there, but also this Cochrane, this challenge, the Community Better Challenge that we're trying to win here in Cochrane. You, I think, are familiar with our big ask of people to take pictures and videos of them doing things and tagging the Sport for Life Instagram account so we can share it and spread it. And you've been using the app. Like, what kind of stuff would you say to people watching this video right now about how they can get involved and how they can help us spread the word?
Yeah, well, it's like, first off, so I used the app for the first time this morning and went out, took some pictures, and enjoyed my bike ride, and so great to see people out. And I think you're doing a great job. Like, the last couple of days, I've become super aware of the work. And I'm looking at the app, and I saw, I think we're 17. So that's not too bad. It's not one, but it's getting there. So I think just as a message for anybody who's thinking about it, it's easier than you think.
Right.
One of the things that's kept me going this year is just doing these different online challenges. And so it's pretty simple to use. There's also a team function on there to kind of inspire each other. So a shout out, I need a team. So if somebody wants
and that's one of the things Jane, I think, just commented. She said she would like to challenge town council to have a counselors team. So maybe you can head that up, Tara. You can start a team.
Yeah, I need to, like, get out more. So
yes,
that'd be a great idea. So I think it's simple, it's easy, it's fun. And one of the things I think I really learned through COVID, just personally, and then also as a leader in the community, is how important our recreation is to us.
Yeah.
We know physically, we know mentally how important it is, but it's also that social component, and so many times recreation is where our community comes together. And so it's been great to see people out and enjoying. And I know even in my household, some pent up frustration to be able to get out and do the team sports again. And so it's great that we're taking those steps. And they do this challenge because one of the things that I do is I'm the chair of the Cochrane's Parks and Recreation Committee. Right now we're involved in, I'm a bit of a planner geek. So right now we're involved in an exercise to plan out the Horse Creek Sports Park, because one of the gaps we have in our community as we catch up is our, we need more playing fields, whether it's, we need more ice space, outdoor ice arenas, and soccer and rugby. And
oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said rugby. That was on my list. So yes, we need a rugby pitch. Oh, so excited. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, keep talking.
Excited. I can talk about this all day. But yeah, so we're working through the plan right now. The Parks and Recreation Committee is working through the plan. And so the goal is to, come up with this plan that's going to, and so that's a big plan. So $100,000 would be a start in that plan. Right. But or if it's more trails, or if there's a quicker need, but $100,000 is something that can really make a difference.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So I'm just gonna throw some tech sort of tips out there for people right now. Like you mentioned, starting a team, that's a really cool way. So for those of you who are business owners or whose kids play on a hockey or soccer team, getting that team of kids together on the app as a team so they can see each other's activity and kind of call each other out and stuff like that. That's huge. But you can't set up a team right through the app. You have to actually go online to the participaction.com website and set up the team. It emails you a code, and then you enter that code in the app. So for those of you who are thinking, ooh, I want to do like a team challenge, yes, do it, but that's how you got to do it. Another thing is you can actually create events through the app. So you could invite like all of Cochrane to come to an event. I know that, COVID, whatever, I don't know how that would work, but you could do it. You could have everyone participating in their own locations, but at the same time, the participation people actually are giving away a lot of prizes. Gift cards for lots of Canadian businesses that we could use anywhere. So check out the app. I actually set a reminder on my phone for 12:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. so that I'm tracking my activity twice a day. That's another thing you can do, because there was a couple days when I completely forgot to track my activity in the app, and I was like, oh no. All right, what local sports teams or clubs have you been a part of, or your family members been a part of in Cochrane, Tara?
Yeah, well, I was just going to ask, do I get to record my horseback riding hours?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Be my thing. Yeah, so my kids are, let's see, we've done BMX, which it's such an amazing community. It's such a great group.
I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. I just need to get a bike and give it a try again when somebody's not watching. And then they've done, let's see, BMX, baseball. My daughter's in dance right now, and biking. Last summer, they're not going to forgive me for this. Last summer, I came up with this brilliant idea, which they're never going to forgive me for, that we should watch the sun come up at the Canadian flag at the Precedence thing, and we live in Riverview. So I woke them up before dawn and made them bike up the hill to watch.
Not a girl.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Old enough to hold a grudge. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
awesome.
And but yeah, it's so great being out in the pathways and seeing people recreate and seeing so many of the user groups that are stepping up. And it's great to see Spray Lakes is taking the next steps to opening, stepping through that piece. And some of the sports are going to be able to come back. And it just kind of feels like we're starting the race, or the start button has been hit. So
yes, we're launching back into semi-real life, which is so exciting, right?
Yeah.
So exciting. Okay, next question for you. Was there any other sports teams or organizations in Cochrane around activity that you want to mention that you've been a part of?
Oh, well, that probably covers off the ones we've actually been a part of. But we've played hockey too, and
hockey.
It was an amazing way. Just a shout out to the parents and volunteers and the friends and family that have been so supportive of helping me as a single parent make sure my kids are involved. And all of the coaches and all of the team managers that step up and organize and do fundraisers, and sometimes you recognize enough, but so if everybody steps up and make a difference, thank you so much. And
yeah, I definitely want to shout out the other three ladies that I've had the pleasure of getting to know through the Sport for Life experience that I'm only 1 week into, is Ashley Fox and Leah Norris, Leah Weens, I'm not sure which name she's going by, and of course Genevieve Boyvin, I think is how you say her last name. Those three ladies have been busting their butts in this town around sports and recreation for years now, it sounds like, and I'm just learning so much from them and having so much fun working with them. So huge shout out to those ladies too. I want to take us back to little girl Tara, when you were a little girl in Sundre. You grew up in Sundre, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Sundre.
So what kind of sports and activities were you into as a kid? Like, what were your things you loved when you were a little girl that you tried and loved, or maybe tried and didn't love?
Tried to love. Oh, well, I remember being small town Sundre, riding a bike and being able to just ride forever and pedal around town. And then I remember I'd gone too far away from my parents, and I saw the RCMP car, and I was convinced they were there to arrest me because I had gone too far. So my straight and narrowness goes back, way beyond being short. And so biking, and then small town schools are so great because there's always teams to join. So we did volleyball. I always got dragged into cross country running. So a shout out to all the runners.
Ooh, not one of your favorites?
No, I admire it as a philosophy and a thing that you do. I just can't. So volleyball, all those great sports. We've got the golf here. I need to pick up and try. And for me, always riding, touring around. And then here's what was it? kind of a transformational time in my world was the Alberta Summer Winter Games. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so luge, right, was introduced to my small town, and so for 3 or 4 years, I took up, luging. So competitive tobogganing. How much fun is that?
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, so that was so much fun, and for me, um, it was a real growing time, actually, because I met people that I didn't know or didn't know very well, and suddenly I was 17 and I was, traveling and going different places and meeting different people. And so for me, sport was really a way that I started to break out of my shell. And then when I went off to college, I actually coached for a little bit on the team. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. So sports has always been there for me. Like, you just really great friends and different experiences and different challenges.
Yes.
Oh, a shout out though to boxing, because one of the things, there was a fundraiser a couple years ago for the rival boxing gym, hosted a boxing match in support of Big Hill Haven. So that's a crazy time to actually do 3 minutes.
Did you participate? Did you compete?
Oh yeah, I have a belt. I won.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I've retired undefeated from boxing. I have a boxing card.
Wow, that girl.
Yeah, but it's always, and that's why sports, I think, so important. It gives you, I've always been an amateur athlete, and I like to try new things and have different experiences and meet new people. So in Cochrane is so fortunate. I think the only thing you can't do here is what? Skydive and scuba dive. Everything in between, I think we can do.
I think so. How did you get into horses?
Oh, I always was into horses, and my family were town people, and I was like, I want a horse. And
I'm the same. I was Dawson Creek, BC, in town, and I did not get to have a horse until I finally bagged my way and got a job and could afford to buy one in grade 11, I think. So I feel your pain, and it was like, it's cool to be an adult and be able to do those things, right?
Well, my parents made a deal to a 6-year-old me, and they're like, yeah, Tara, you can have a horse when you can buy one.
Yeah.
So I didn't really figure out that was a barrier. And so I spent like the next 3 years conning all of my friends and collecting pop bottles and saving all my money. And
wow.
when I was 10, I had like $1,000. And so my parents were like, fine. So I bought.
Good for you. 10 with $1,000 that you earned yourself.
Yeah, pop cans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hard work and just always eye on the prize. So
wow.
Yeah, first when I was 10, and it was a while ago. So riding lessons was ride the horse and don't fall off.
Yeah.
And so I've had a horse ever since, and they've been a real part of my life and keeping me sane, because sometimes life can get a little bit busy.
Yeah. But
being on horseback is, well, my horse is a bit of a jerk. So being on horseback means the only thing I can focus on is horseback riding. So I don't have to worry about the rest of my world.
Being on your horse's back means you haven't got bucked off today, which is always a good thing.
It's like, heels down.
Yeah, good for you. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to move on to my next question. So you talked a little bit about this already, but what would you like to see the 100,000 invested in? Sounds like that sports park. So maybe you could talk more about the sports park. I didn't even know that was a thing. I honestly don't follow a lot of the stuff that's going on with like the Cochrane councillors and all that. So I wasn't aware of that. It's really cool.
Well, let's consider it the beginning of a thing. So it's, but I mean, there's a huge need for more playing fields.
Yeah.
So, so Horse Creek Road, there's kind of a quarter by the gas plant.
Okay.
Just north of the community there. And so there's, the school board has bought the land, and we've got a deal with the school board where we're going to buy, they've got the space where they're going to put their school, and the rest we're going to buy and turn into a sports park. So we're in the process right now of kind of like, what are the needs that we can fit here, and then what's the plan? So the committee's working hard right now to, rugby and baseball and softball and there's a big hill there, and biking, and how to create this destination sports park. So,
oh my gosh. Will it possibly have any rodeo or any like equestrian space out there, do you think? Or
no, this is
no?
sports park. So the rodeo with the tri-site plan. So you've got downtown, you've got the library, and where we're putting the transit innovation hub, and then where the Lions rodeo is right now. So the rodeo
Okay.
will be kind of on that site. Kind of, it'll evolve, and then you've got the Ag Society, which exciting news for them. They've just acquired ownership of that piece, so they're masters of their own destiny. And so I get so excited because you've got, and like, huge shout out, unbelievable, to the Spray Lakes rec facility and the board and all the staff that have been through that. But we have this amazing indoor rec facility that, for our population of 30,000 plus, right? It's pretty.
Yeah. It's very spectacular. Yeah. And now it's so accessible for the river, or for the river song, and yeah, fireside people even, right? They're way more likely to come down that way over the bridge. And yeah, this little town has just changed so much. It's crazy, right?
Well, you kind of think back to like the Cochrane Ranch, right?
Yeah.
It was a vision about making things better and progress. It was a vision of progress. And so I think kept that spirit. But yeah, having the bridge there, I mean, the rec center is kind of the physical heart of the downtown. Like, people are connected there. You got the Ag Society, which, I mean, they've held some great events there. We've got the rodeo grounds. And again, with the Ag Society, I mean, they're doing fun things. They had the drive-in movie theater there and the BMX tracks there.
Yeah.
And once we, start work on the sports park, you're going to have this chain of just absolutely amazing recreation spaces.
Yes.
But yeah, so that one, I mean, we have to do the plan, and then you have to budget the plan, but, build out of the full plan. I mean, don't quote me live on Instagram or anything, but $50 million wouldn't be an unsurprising number, right?
Right.
So,
right.
But the what we're talking about now is kind of how we stage that out. What can be something, we do, and how we meet those needs. And I mean, $50 million is a lot of money, but we both pool in that ballpark and an RCMP station in that ballpark. So it's kind of, what things cost. So not next year, but we're going to keep working at it.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing so much information, with us about what's happening in the community right now, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that gets busy and doesn't, hear about all these exciting things and all these ideas that are actually in the works to become real. So that's awesome. Thank you for taking the time to be here and just let me get to know you better, let alone all the people that will watch this later on today. It will stay here on the Sport for Life feed, and we will probably download it and put it on our YouTube channel, because we're just doing all the things, because we really want to, we want to be crowned the Canada's most active community, and definitely want to win the money to do some cool things here in Cochrane. So thank you for everything, and thank you for making pictures and videos of yourself and tagging us on Instagram so we can share them here and show people what you're up to as well, to inspire activity throughout the community.
Yeah, you know what? Thanks for the invite, and thank you to you and the other ladies that are making this a difference. And yeah, Cochrane rocks. So I think we should definitely aim for number one. So
we will.
This, and yeah, I'm gonna just log on here and go challenge my colleagues to team up. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, and take some screenshots once you've got your roster, so we can share that too.
We'll see how we go. Excellent. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Okay, thanks, Tara.
I'll be watching.
Okay, bye for now.